taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. You're watching Project Joy Live, bringing a triple shot of good vibes to start off your week. I'm still getting used to this later time, you guys. I'm used to getting up, barely getting the clothes on, coming to the computer, getting the show done, and going on about my day. And now I have all this time, and I'm sitting here like, insert cricket sounds here. What do I do? What am I doing with my time this morning? But I have to say this morning I'm kind of easing into it a little bit. I got up and made a huge salad this morning, and then put that in the fridge for later. And then I roasted some root vegetables. I got some beets and some sweet potatoes and all kinds of yumminess. So my kitchen smells amazing. And tomorrow, I'm in denial this morning because my second oldest child becomes an adult tomorrow. I'm turning 18 tomorrow. I don't want to talk about it because it doesn't bring me a lot of joy right now. No, it does. I mean, I'm happy, but it's hard. No, I don't think anybody really prepares you as a parent for the kids becoming adults and all of that. I mean, it's already happened once, and this is the second time. I'll have 4 more to go after that because you guys know I have a gaggle of kids over here. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. But my daughter, who I've shown her cakes before, she makes the most incredible vegan cakes, and she made a key lime cake for his birthday tomorrow. So wait for that. Next week, I'll be showing you some pictures and all of that. But I have so much joy this morning, and I would love to hear what's bringing you joy today. So please be sure to join us in the comments and tell me what's bringing you joy today. Where are you joining us from and all of that good stuff. But we're going to be playing in the realm that I really love this morning on the show, and that is music. You guys know how I feel about music. I've shared some of my own history with music before on the show. We've had, if you're following us over on Instagram, which you can find us at the Breakthrough Show Network on Instagram, I shared a whole story for like a good, I don't know, long time, a lot. I didn't realize how many amazing musicians we've had on the show. But I shared a whole story with little clips and little posts from so many of our musicians and singers that have been on the show. And it just, I don't know, joy. I mean, I feel like there's not even joy is not even a strong enough word for how I feel about music. And I was minding my business on a TikTok live one day. And I was actually doing some intuitive readings and some of the just trying to spread some joy on TikTok like I do. And there was a gentleman that came in the comments, and he mentioned that he was a singer. And people cross your path all the time that are like, I love to sing, right? So like I do in Stalker Jessica, went to go figure out who this guy was. And I'm like, holy crap, he can really sing. Like, wow. Like, I was blown away. And then I continue my stalking and I see, okay, he's actually for real here. And I found out that he is an incredible singer and a musician as well. And I said, look, I've got to have you on my show. And I think at the time he probably too was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Probably that's how it went. And so we kept in contact on Instagram and things like that. And then I found out he has a song coming out soon and saw more clips, and I'm blown away. And my daughters who are really into music, I'm like, you got to hear this guy. And now he's a household name here, and he should be a household name with you as well. So I'm very excited this morning that Robert is joining us. He's from Sweden, and his English, I think, is better than mine, which is fantastic. So really excited about that. But before you see him, you got to hear this guy sing. So check it out, and we'll be right back with Robert. Everybody, please welcome Robert Lukian to the show.
Thank you. That was crazy to look at.
Listen, I'm seeing these videos and I'm like, he's not kidding around.
I tried to not.
I love it. I'm so happy to have you here finally this morning, because I feel like we've been tossing the ball back and forth here for a little while, and I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to harass you, but you gotta come on the show. You gotta do it. So I'm really excited to have you today. What is bringing you joy today, Robert?
Right now, you, of course.
Thank you. I like that answer.
No, but it was like the schedule was quite busy with all the rehearsals and everything. But now we're here, and now we have the time for you and I.
I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, obviously, I think it goes without saying in your performance how much joy music brings you. Am I assuming correctly?
Correctly.
I love it.
Yeah. That's everything I live for. That's the only thing I know how to do. Good, So yeah.
Amazing. Now I know that your father was a musician and everything,
Yeah.
right? Like, how much influence, like, tell me about growing up. Like, you've always been into music, or was there a point that you can remember of where you went, this is what I want to do? Or tell me what that looked like for you.
So I think I started to, like this. I have recordings of myself since I was 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a quite funny story. There was a McDonald's that had karaoke in Sweden.
What? That's not a thing here in the United States, FYI.
So this is back in '96.
Even then.
Even then, really strange. And I don't remember, but that's the story I got. That I was singing. What's the song of the name? The Spiders song.
Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Thank you, that one. And they recorded that, and I still have it. I think there is a clip of that on like SoundCloud, on my father's SoundCloud. And when I listen to it, like, okay, it's not that bad. I can hear myself like, okay, you know. But then when I was 7, I started to play piano, classic piano. That was boring. It was really, because all the scores and things, it was like ants for me on a paper.
Mm.
So I'm like, oh. But then I started to sing more, and my father was always there to guide me through how to sing and how to put in my emotions in. He wasn't my strongest critic, you know. I think it's really, you notice that, oh no, he's too hard with me, or he's just complaining about missing and oh, la la la, but now in the end of the day, I appreciate it, because I wouldn't be as a perfectionist when it comes to singing. Of course, it's really hard still to have a show and think like this was a good show, because you always have to improve, especially in our business. But I thank him really much now. I didn't do it then, but now I do. And then I started music school in 4th grade. So it
Wow.
was like a special. I had regular school, but we had like 4 or 5 hours of music each week. So it was a special class, a music class. So I went to that from the 4th grade till 9th grade. And then I studied culinary school.
Well, that's an interesting switch.
So I had some questions. My mom told me you should go take care of, like, have a solid base to fall back in case music doesn't work. And my father was like, no, you should go to music school. And of course, you listen to your mom because that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
So I went to culinary school, but music was always the thing that I always fell back to. I was in a competition that you saw.
Yeah.
I was 18, and from there, when I was kicked out from the show, when I didn't went through the next round, or what it was, I applied for Valmans, the company that I've been working with for 10 years now, in Stockholm. So I moved to Stockholm when I was 19, and I've been working there since.
That's
That's a long story. That's a short, long story.
Right. No, and I mean, I think we know, especially on Project Joy and the Breakthrough Show Network, like, that our journey is never linear, right? It's not just this like one shot. There's always those ups and downs and things that happen. And I love that you're saying that you didn't, really have that gratitude and appreciation for your dad back then, but that you have it now. Because I often wonder about that when people, when they have that person that really pushes them, if there is, if you're able to see that gratitude later, or what do you think do you think you would have still gotten into music if there wasn't that influence from him there?
No, I don't think so. And I think also because my teachers,
Yeah. He can sing and cook, winner.
I'm the singing, chef. That's what I've been called my whole life. No, but I think if I didn't have my teachers that pushed me, I wouldn't. And my father, of course, and my mom, because she can sing, but she knows if I'm out of pitch.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or if I don't have emotions when I'm singing, or if it was a bad performance, she will tell me, and I really appreciate that, because as a singer, you never learn how to take the positive criticism. It's always the things that you need to work on. It's always like it was good, but don't forget to do this or to do that. And it's like you always forget about, Robert, you're really good. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
I thank you, but I'm, but I'm gonna do
Yeah.
something. I'm gonna be better. Um, but I like all the people that I've been surrounded by has made me realize this is the only thing that I want to do. You
Right.
know, it
Right.
doesn't matter if it's hard or if it's like ups and downs or when it comes to money. But this is actually the only thing that I'm doing, and I want to do this for the rest of my life. An artist or a performer never retires. We retire when
Right.
yeah, you know.
I could picture when I first met you that at some point somebody had maybe tried to dampen your dream a little bit,
Yeah,
because when I asked you about what you did, and you were so like not just humble but almost quiet about it.
yeah,
And then when I heard your video, I'm like, if I could sing in that way, I would be like, I'm a singer girl. That's what I do. That's what I do. I would be shouting it from the rooftops, literally, because I
yeah,
would be so in my ego about it. But you're so humble about it, and it's like, as you've grown, because you mentioned that you were on a talent show, and
yeah.
I was telling Robert before the show, you guys, that my daughter and I binged all of those videos. If you go search his name, don't do it while you're watching the show, but later go search his name on YouTube. You're welcome. And go watch all of those. And because they're so good, and you can tell, like, you're so young in the
Yeah, I was
videos, right?
18 now.
Yeah, you're so young, but you were so, like, you could tell even then that you had so much passion for what you were doing, and that it was like the right fit for you. But then I see the videos now, and I'm
Yeah.
like, taken back, like how much growth you've had over the last 10 years. What do you think how has that experience been for you, like going from just, the education piece to maybe the audience growing a little bit, and now you have like what, over 1,000 people in an audience of where you're performing?
Yeah. Well, directly after the competition, I had a guy. He wrote to me. I'm working at this company called Benjamin. You're amazing. You're amazing. You. No, but it started like it was now it's a really good friend, but back then it was he wrote to me and hi, my name is Alex, and I would like you. I'm working at Valmont's. Why aren't you applying? And I was like, oh, yes, maybe, yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I said no, and then I had one girl from the competition. She had been working there, but in Oslo, because we're in different countries. You have one in Copenhagen, one in Sweden, and one in Oslo.
Mm.
The same company, the same concept. Um, and then she was like, "You should apply. Why not? You're 18. You have the whole life. Do that because you're gonna grow so much."
Right.
So I was applying. I wrote to the other guy, "Yo, I'm gonna apply," and he said, "Well, send me your CV and I'll put a word for you." And 1 month after, they called me. I was like, "Hi, this is I don't know who remember. Can't remember who called, but she was like, we would like you to come for the audition in Stockholm." And I was like, "Okay, yes, 18, yes, I do that." So I flew to Stockholm. I did the audition, and they came back to me and asked me, "But how old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 18, turning 19 in January." "Well, our policy is 21, so sorry, but
Mm.
would you mind working for a travel company that has some shows, for kids and stuff like that?" And I was like, "No, because I want to finish my last year in college." College? Is it called
Right.
high school? College? I really don't know
Doesn't
the difference.
matter.
Doesn't matter. After ninth grade, you go into college. Oh no, high school. No,
Yeah.
college. Yes, yeah. Um, and I was like, "No, I need to finish my last year, so we'll see." And then 2 weeks after, I was at school cooking some dinner at my culinary school, and then I get a call, and they asked me if I wanted to join them for the 21-year-old show, for the big show.
Mhm.
And I said yes. Why not? Thank you very much. Thank you. So and then I started working there, and I've been working with really good people around me for
Mm,
all 10 years. And one of uh, my mentor that I've been working with for the past 5 years, like in Copenhagen, that does the show in Copenhagen called Johan Espeland. He's been my, you know, the father figure in the music industry. He like he gives me keys every time. Sometimes you just need a key to open up another door to be
yeah.
able to perform better, or um, look at the lyrics and think, okay, what is the song about? How can I apply it to my feelings, even though I didn't write it? So I've been surrounded with around good people that have had believed in me and made me the singer that I am today. And of course,
Mm,
hard work for me too.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you never, it's you always compare yourself to other singers. It's always like that, and no matter in what business, even if you're a chef or you're a singer or you're a guitarist, or I don't know, you always compare yourself to somebody else, and you want to be
Mm,
as good as that man or woman. Uh, but I think you just need to leave that behind and just try to work on your own voice and your own performance to be able to be the best that you can be. You know.
right. Right. How do
Uh,
you, how is that experience for you? Because you sing some songs from some of the biggest names that we know. We saw the clip of the Mariah Carey song, which she's got some pipes. The video that I couldn't get my hands on before we came on here of I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. Um, how what is that experience like for you singing those songs? I mean, obviously, I think, thinking about my history, like when I would sing songs that were from other people, first of all, I would never touch those songs. Second of all, but I always felt like there's like that balance of like trying to honor them in what they did with that song, but also being yourself. What is that like for you?
I grew up with those
Mhm.
huge divas my whole life. Like the male singers didn't attract me in the same way.
Mhm.
Of course, you have some like
Yeah.
Stevie, and yeah, no, but and Michael Jackson, all those kind of people. But for me, it was the performances of the those women, how
Mm,
powerful they were, um, how they sing, you know.
yeah.
And I wanted to thank you.
The compliment, all I've been able to show is compliments here. I mean, it's wonderful.
No, but the thing is that I saw myself, or I took inspirations only from them, the rhythmical things. If you look at this
Mm,
new child,
yeah.
if you take a singer nowadays, so I don't have anything against musicals, but for me, because people always ask me, why don't you want to do musicals? Why don't you want to do this? No, no, because musical is not my thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's long notes. It's not
Mhm.
no, but and when I grew up with funk,
Mm,
with old R&B, and Destiny's Child, I listened to them so freaking much because
mm,
they're so rhythmical. The
yeah.
same thing with Stevie, the same thing with Michael, the same thing with Shaka Khan. They are so rhythmical, and it extends your mouth as a drum, and it
Mm,
makes you feel good and makes you move because it's rhythmical. So I just felt that that is where I want to be. I want to project project their talent and try to learn everything that they do, and attach that to my own singing.
right.
So that's why I'm not afraid of those songs, because I know
Mm,
that I'm not Whitney, or I'm not Shaka, but I'm listening to every nuance of every word, how they put it there and why they put it there.
right.
Because you can take another singer and let's say, yo, learn um, "Ain't Nobody" by Shaka,
Mm,
but then you just go home, you listen to the song, and then you learned it, but you don't know why. So, or you need to ask yourself, why does it sound that good when I listen to it?
Right.
And how can I, as a singer, apply that thing to my own performance?
Mm,
That's the most important thing of being a singer or doing
right.
shows. Because if you don't think about that, you're just singing karaoke.
Right.
You know,
Right.
just like meh.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's interesting, the other day when I went for a drive, and I had an alternative station on, and I heard a version of I Will Survive by Cake, which I had never. Have you not heard this?
No.
Okay, so Cake is like this alternative, band, and I when I heard it, I'm like, what do you mean they're gonna sing I Will Survive? What are you talking? And then it came on, and it was the wildest thing because you hear that song, and that's like that's a big number there,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
I Will
yeah.
Survive. But this was like, I don't know. It was a more muted, they even throw in a couple curse words there, good for a Cake measure. But it was like, but it was so them, and like I didn't think about the original version once while I was listening to it. And so that's kind of the cool thing. When I watch that performance of yours of Emotions, I'm not thinking about Mariah. I'm
Yeah,
like, damn, Robert's killing it. He's like, and so it's a cool thing that you're able to do, where you're able to, and you're not afraid of it. That's the part that gets me, because I'm such a chicken.
yeah. And I think it's also because, of course, if a girl would sing Whitney Houston, then you directly would compare her to Whitney,
Yeah. Yep.
and you sit there as an audience and you said, no, she doesn't sound like Whitney. No, she's not good. But you
Mm,
never say that about a guy. So
yeah.
that's one of my biggest what is it called, audition tip. You
Mm,
know, if you do an audition as a guy, don't go and sing Michael Bublé, because
mm,
you're gonna be compared to Michael Bublé.
right.
Uh,
Right.
Go take a girl song, make it your own. What's it called? Uh, so it fits to your own voice.
Right.
You don't need to
Right.
sing as high as they do,
Hmm.
and go. And I swear that the jury that's gonna look and listen is gonna say, "Wow," because you'd never expect a guy to come in and sing a girl song.
I'm having a whole moment here, because I'm realizing that I may have done that to myself. And
Yeah,
that could be why I've enjoyed singing songs that have been made popular by male singers lately, because when I sing them, I'm not comparing myself.
to them.
Oh my God, we're having a breakthrough moment on the Breakthrough Show Network, you guys, this morning. Holy cow. Like, it never occurred to me that that's why I could be doing that.
Yeah, it could be like that. And as I said, I remember one audition I did for, because every year, even though you're a part of a cast at
Mm,
Valmont, you always need to do an audition every season to be able
wow.
to, still get the job,
Mhm.
because you won, our highest boss who creates the show.
Yeah.
um, he wants to see the fire. He wants to see that if you come to audition and if you want to work one more year, what are you going to give me back? you know he needs to see the fire. He needs to see that people wants to stay for one more year.
Right.
So it's all we all everybody does the audition, and the dancers too, and this, not the circus artists, but the dancers and singers always does the audition every single year, every single season. In January, we're doing this again, and then
That
yeah,
would make me nervous. Like, don't
it
get too
is,
comfortable.
it is, it's really. Even though I know the whole house, I know all the producers, I know all the people in the jury, I'm
Mhm.
still getting so nervous every time I do that
Yeah.
audition. And it's just because you know the people, it's
Right.
only
Right.
that's the only reason why. Uh,
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
that's harder for me to perform when I know everybody that's around me, as opposed to, because if they're people you don't know, you're like, who cares what they, what they
Exactly.
think or whatever, right? So that's interesting. Lori was saying that you'd be great on Broadway, and that was something that I thought interesting too. But I love how you're saying that that's not necessarily your thing, that musicals aren't
No, no,
necessarily your
but
thing.
there is one.
There's one. What would you want to do?
Effie.
Oh, okay.
You see, not a male
Okay.
role. I would like to do Effie. Let's see. Let's have like Dream Boys. Okay.
Yeah.
Dream Girls.
Dream boy.
No, but I think I would be able to do like a jukebox musical, maybe.
Mm,
I'm not so good at acting. I think
yeah.
it's really my feelings for acting is real horrible. It's like, oof, I'm playing someone else, and that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Take myself serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dreamgirls is one of my favorite musicals of all
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
I
thank
get
you.
picked on a lot because I like a lot of the old musicals. I like Singing in the Rain and Guys and Dolls and Meet Me in St. Louis, and I like a lot of the old things. There's very few modern musicals that I really enjoy a lot. Rent I love, but that does require like that there is that really like emotional, have to put your whole self, to be this character. We just watched Kevin Kiley playing Tom Collins in it in a performance here, and it was just like, you got to be able to like just be somebody else, and that, I think that might, like, that would make me a little bit uncomfortable too, to
Yeah.
have to really just embody another person.
Somebody else. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She said you have the wow factor. You would captivate the audience.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have some more questions for you, and we're gonna get into a certain song that's coming out like what, in a couple days, right?
It's 25th tonight today. Yeah, it's more. It's morning at your place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost 6 here. 7:30.
Okay.
No.
So we're going to talk more. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk more about that stuff coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It is Monday, September 25th, 2023, and I'm here this morning with Robert, who is joining us from Sweden, an incredible singer-songwriter who has a song coming out very, very soon. I wanted to ask you, because we were talking, I mean, obviously everybody in the audience just loves you today. It's like all of the good comments. But I know as a singer and as an artist, it's not always you're so amazing, Robert. That's the best song I've ever heard from you, right? Like you do have that, like you talked about that constructive criticism that needs to happen sometimes. How did some people really struggle with that? How do you hang on to that joy that you find in music and in performing and being an artist when the comments might not be exactly what you hoped for?
For me personally, I think it's I'm so used to it.
Mm,
Is that wrong to say? I don't know. But for me, it's those that those comments or those uh, criticism um, that makes me better. If
mm,
it comes from a person that I'm looking up to, sometimes it's hard to um, take it. For example, my boss. He knows what he's talking about.
mm,
you know and I think it's a fine line, because of course if someone comes to you and say, yo, you didn't sing that good, try this, and that person is not a singer, then I'm like, meh, okay, thank you. you know but then I'll go home.
consider the source.
Yeah, I'll go home, it's like, what did it say to me? Okay, no, okay. But um it's a hard thing. It's a really
Mm,
hard thing, because you need to actually listen to what it said, and not take
mm,
it personally, and not go home and cry about it, because there is a reason why people wants to help you become for you to become a better artist, a singer.
right. Right. It's
uh
hard not to go home and cry about it when you put your
Hard.
whole heart into it.
Exactly.
That's hard.
Exactly. And as I usually say, because I'm a song captain at Valmons, and I always tell the other singers that I'm not telling you stuff to make you worse.
Mm,
It's always because all of the people I'm working with are really, really amazing singers.
mm,
You know, but sometimes all those keys that I got during my whole life, I'm giving those to them, because it helped me. So, but sometimes it's really hard to take um, the word. It's like, nah, you're not good. The only thing you heard now, it was, you're not good,
right.
and here is the explanation why, and that's what you need to listen to. You
Right.
know,
Right.
really important.
It's a conversation. I mean, I try to have with even my kids often is like, I'm not saying this
Mm.
to bring you down or and I because like with even with the kids, like I see their potential and I see that they could like it just would tweak one tiny thing and then like you'll fly.
Yeah,
It'll be amazing. And so I'm trying to like have them learn to separate that it's not personal. It's not saying something's wrong with your character. It's not saying something's wrong with you or who you are. It's just a little tweak and your craft or
mm,
what you're doing, what you're working on can be at, go to that next level, right?
exactly. Exactly like that. And you've been through life. You know, you already done the things that they are going to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you made your mistakes. We made our things, and that's why we want to tell other people to not do those things, even
Right.
though you need to realize and you need to go through those things by yourself.
Yeah.
But I've always had people behind my back that has like pushed me forward and said, yo, keep going, even
Yeah.
though it sounds a little bit awful, keep going, but do like this instead.
Right.
uh, so yeah.
I want to talk about what is love
What
because
is love? Baby, don't hurt.
what is it? Okay, let's just talk about that. What exactly is it? Because I think there may be some confusion out there. No, that's your song that's
That's my
coming out
song.
very soon that we're very excited about. So talk to us, like how long has it been since you've released a song, first of all?
Oh, too long. I think. Oh, I actually don't even know. 2, 3 years ago. You know, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah, maybe too
yeah,
long. Nowadays you need to release music every month to. It's
yeah,
just like a Instagram post.
What is it with the? I mean, there's so many singers right now. Even Kevin Kiley is one of them that has been on the show several times. Even Nicola Vasquez, that was just on last week, that are opting to put out songs or singles as opposed to a full album. What do you think the appeal of that is right now?
You need to make sure that the single works before you put out an album.
Hmm.
People doesn't listen to albums anymore as they did 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think
No,
I'm stuck back there somewhere.
no, but if it is an artist that
Right.
or a singer or some that you already know, then it's much easier. But if
Yeah.
Celine Dion if she was a new artist today and she would release an album, nobody would listen to it because
Hmm.
it's too much information for the brand. Who is the singer? We need to learn about this singer.
Yeah.
But I'm just like you. If she has a new album coming up, I'm gonna listen to it.
The whole thing. Well, you know
That's
what's
why.
wild?
That's why.
What's wild about that is, so speaking of Celine, I got on a kick. There was, what the heck was the name of the movie? I'm having a moment now, but there's a movie that just came out that Celine was in. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Did you see it?
There's a Spider-Man movie, maybe with
No,
the
there
song.
was it's a love story. It's a love story. And I think it's on it might be on Netflix now at this point. But anyway, my point being is that you see somebody in something, you're reminded of, like, you'll have like this memory of, oh, there was this song that she used to do, and I'm going to go back and listen to it. So I went and I listened to like one of her whole albums, and now there are select songs on there that everyone plays. Like the
Yeah,
radio will play it, you'll hear it everywhere. But then there's those other songs, it's like, oh man, I forgot that song, I forgot how good it was. And to me, that was the sort of beauty of an album, where you do have those popular songs on the radio, but it was almost like, I don't know, like a little insider's club or something, if you knew those songs that weren't on the radio, like if you
exactly.
knew those amazing little Pete. So I don't know. I just had that thought the other day.
No, but that's exactly what I mean. Like, take for example Adele, another great singer.
Hmm.
I've listened to her album so many times just because, and we know like half the songs that because it's only played on a radio, Set Fire to the
Yeah.
Rain and Rolling in the Deep and all those kind of songs. But all the extra songs that doesn't is that is they don't play on the radio.
Hmm.
That's the song that I get most attached to because
Yeah.
of course her lyrics is woohoo, but her singing skills is it's so I all a funny story is that I always listen to Adele when I fly
Really?
because she calms me down in a sort of way. uh, I have the three albums and I is on repeat. So when I fly from Sweden to Thailand for 12
Mhm.
hours or 13, it's only Adele. It's like
Hmm.
mindful peaceness.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, there's those I don't know, it's just there's some of those songs where I can't believe, because they're so good, that they got on my mind. You know what I got on a kick listening to yesterday was the duet that Celine did with Pavarotti.
Yeah.
Can I just
Mm.
I'm crying by the end of the song, and my kids are like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What exactly is
Wake
wrong with
up.
you? And I'm like, do you not hear this? This is like masterful. Like,
Yeah.
it's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my whole life. And it just, I don't know, it's just those moments of, how could something that beautiful slip from our minds like that? I don't know.
Me
It's
neither.
weird. Do you ever picture that you might, do you want to do a whole album one day, or?
Well, if I have the right people around me and the and the songs, of
Yeah.
course. But I
Yeah.
think I'll start with an EP first.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
talk to me about What Is Love then. Where did this come
what is
from?
love?
I mean, we all ask ourselves this question. So is
And
that
nobody knows still. No, the thing is really I've been creating songs for myself. It's always really hard to create songs for yourself. It's always easier to create songs for other people. So
Hmm.
I was like playing around and I didn't like anything I did. And then I went to TikTok where everybody is right now, you know. And I
Yeah.
found this guy, David, that has been on the Sweden's Got Talent, and I went through it because he's a pianist, and it was like a really good one. And I was just looking through his TikToks, and it's on some songs it said unreleased song, or look what I did this night. I did this song and this
Mm.
lyrics, and it was one song that really stuck on my mind, and I was listening to it like I swear like 20 times, and I was like, there is something in the song. There is something.
Yeah.
The lyrics, the harmonies, the chords, something. So I wrote to him, "Hi, my name is Robert. That song is really good. Can I get it?" Be straightforward.
Yeah.
Uh, and he was like, "Sure." So we stayed connected and we talked about the song. I changed some small stuff in the lyrics to make it
Mm.
uh, more storytelling.
Yeah.
Uh, and then we got the song, and then I needed to think about it. Okay, how do I put myself into a song? You know,
Mm.
or do I have friends that has been through this? Because it's always, you know, people always say you need to write from your own experience, but
Mm.
most of Adele's songs is written from a movie, or she went strolling down the street and she saw a stone and now she sings about a stone, you know. No, but you know,
Next
so
thing you know, we're dancing with an umbrella, and
exactly under my umbrella. Yeah. So you never know where you get your inspiration from. So
yeah.
the song, I have an old friend that has been through a lot in relationships, and I think, and it's I in a sort of way, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take his story and try to put it in this song. So that's why I made the changes to fit more perfectly with his story.
Yeah.
Um, and then and it's a really simple song. It's only piano, me, and some strings, nothing more than that.
Mm.
It's mainly focused on the voice, just
Yeah.
the storytelling. And I think it's a really, because everybody wants to do pop, you know, pop music. You make that in 1 hour, and then you're done. Then you take the next song, then you're done, and you just like feeding the monster like all the time
Mm.
with your songs. But I think I realized now when I got older that I need to do music that inspires me,
Yeah.
and music that maybe not everyone wants to listen to, but it has a story behind it that I'm really that I want to be able to go back to that time, or for him to listen to the song. It's like, oh shit, this song is really about what I went through, you know.
Yeah.
Um, because not for take for example Adele, not every song is a club song, but
Right.
people are listening to it because they feel emotional attached to the song,
Right.
you know. And
Right.
that's why we listen to all the great divas, because
Yeah.
there is something in how they sing and how they how they put out themselves out there to make sure that we feel something.
Right. Right. I love the idea of how stripped down it is
Yeah,
with the title of what the song is, because
yeah,
it's so funny. My my friend Farron and I co-host a show called Beyond 2D, where we really get way deep into like some pretty serious topics, and he and I often disagree on the meaning of different words, and the and it's all perspective, right? Like it can all mean different things to us, but he likes to get into the, you know, very specific different types of love and different meanings. And for me, love is more simple. It's either you do or you don't. You can
yeah,
choose to or you not choose to, and there's no other way, like we talked about, for me to describe love. It's just it's a thing. It's a being,
yeah.
right? It's a choice that we make. And so I love the idea, just the symbolism in how stripped down the song is,
Mm.
because to me that backs up how I feel about love, which is just simply, it just is, and
Yeah,
it's a being.
yeah, and as I said, like now you have the chance to actually just listen to the lyrics,
Mm,
to and not to listen to the production.
right.
um and and yeah, it's just simple as that. as that.
Yeah.
It's because if you make it more like more instruments and drums and all that, then you take away the actually core of the song.
Yeah. Was it more challenging for you to do something like that, or how you, when you perform with Wegmans, it's all like, it's a huge production, right?
Yeah,
Like there's so much that goes into that. Which one do you think is more challenging?
their own writing.
Yeah.
Always, because I'm going to work and I sing the same songs
Mm.
4 times a week, 4 nights a week, and it's a huge show, 4.5 hour. So, and I know the songs, it's songs that is already out there, and you learn during our rehearsal period. You learn the songs, you learn the steps, you learn how to look in the camera and where to stand, or so. I think the hardest thing is to actually come home when you're free from work and try to write songs, because it's like a muscle.
Mm.
We sing the songs every night, but then
Yeah.
when you come home, that's the only thing you have in your mind. It's the work songs.
Right.
I think it's really hard to create songs, and as I said, for myself, it's really hard. But uh, I have one friend that I'm writing music with quite much right now, and we write most for Asia and K-pop and all like that. And when you don't think about it, you just do it. I'll do the
Yeah.
music, I'll do the production, I'll send it to him in like 4 or 5 hours. I get it back with lyrics and melody, and then we're like, okay, we're done. Okay, let's send it. You can't think about it too much. And
Yeah.
it was exactly with this song, with What Is Love, was the same thing. I was like, maybe I'm not the happiest with the production, maybe I'm not the happiest with the outcome for the whole song, but at the end of the day, you just need to release music. You just
Yeah.
need to, because you as a listener is not going to know my mistakes that I put in the song.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and I can put my hand on my heart and tell you that all the songs that are out now, there is mistakes in those songs.
Right.
We don't know it. You just need to have the guts to just actually release, because that's the most hardest part, is to
Right.
actually release the song to the people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's the same thing that I tell the people that come to me to help them create their talk shows, where I'm like, that nobody knows how you're supposed to run the show except you. So
Yeah.
those little things that you think are mistakes, you push the wrong button, you put the wrong thing on the screen. No one knows. No one,
No,
and no one cares. So
no, exactly. And it's the same with the show that we're doing. If we have
right.
technical issues, we're gonna know.
Right.
But the audience never gonna know if it's not
Right.
like a huge screen that's like, but but if it's a light, or if it's, oh, the smoke didn't come on today, okay, so what? We're not gonna
Yeah.
die.
Right, right. Well, I have our typical question that we love to ask our
Mm.
artists coming up here in a moment. And then also I want you guys to, after the show, go click the link that is in the comments or the description of the video, and pre-save What Is Love, so that as soon as it's out, you can be the first to listen, which I'm really excited about when it comes out as well. So we're going to take a quick break and listen to the actual Swedish version of Dorothy Auger's For Love poem, which I pulled out of the archives, especially for Robert today, because if anybody knew about love and the meaning of that, it was Dorothy Auger. We're going to be honoring her and her 1-year anniversary of her passing coming up here in October. So with that, here is For Love.
Jag står för kärleken. Trots en krossad själ, trots ett tungt hjärta. Jag står för kärleken. För världen är sargad. Inte bara mitt lilla stycke mark, där jag för det mesta är trygg, där jag för det mesta mår bra, utan hela vår värld, överallt och varje dag. Jag står för kärleken, för vi behöver mer ljus. Inte fler döda, inte den starkares rätt, inte fler bomber. Jag står för kärleken. Så att våra barn kan vara trygga. Så att våra vänner har skydd. Så att våra gränser är öppna. Jag står för kärleken. Trots en krossad själ. Trots ett tungt hjärta.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Today is Monday, September 25th, 2023. That was For Love by Dorothy Auger, read beautifully by Katarina Eskilsson in Sweden. And we thank you so much for your beautiful version of that poem. Were you able to understand all of what was said, Robert?
Oh, yeah, it was really deep. It's the first time I have goosebumps.
Yeah. It's wild because I was with Dorothy on the recording of so many of the versions of that poem, and obviously I know the English version, but even not really knowing what the other versions are saying, you just feel it, and to me that's about what love is too, is just that thing that's there and not able to necessarily put words on it.
Exactly. It was really deep.
Yeah, it was a moment. It was a moment.
Yeah,
I know we're
working so hard right now, but yeah, wow.
and I know that even just a little teeny tiny clip that we've heard of What Is Love, when I heard that, I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm going to need tissues when this is. I'm going to cry horribly.
Well, is it wrong to say I hope you do? But no, I don't.
Robert's like, sorry, not sorry.
You're not sorry. No, but of course, and if you've been through stuff, that my Swedish came through that. But if you've been through some stuff with love and with feelings, so I think you're gonna understand the lyrics and the whole concept of the song. Easy, because nowadays when you make songs, you need to make them easy to understand. And for a Swedish guy that speaks English, it's always hard because you never know if that's correct grammatical, correct English or broken English. So I'm really happy I have friends in America that I can send the lyrics to and like, is this correct? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, most of us that speak English don't speak it very well either. So there's that. But the other song that you have on Spotify, that's in Swedish, right?
This is Swedish. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Swedish.
That was another thing. I had no idea what you were saying, and I was getting very emotional. I don't know why.
It's called Han. It means him. So that was actually my first song. It wasn't my first song that I was releasing, but it was the first song that stayed there on the Spotify list.
How many have you put up that are now not there anymore, Robert?
No, actually, I took away one like a few weeks ago before I was planning to release.
Really?
Yeah. It was called Love Again. I can send it to you just for fun. You can listen to it.
Yeah, you can send it to me because I need behind the scenes things here that my audience doesn't even get to hear. That's how I feel special at the end of the day.
So I'll send you What Is Love tonight.
Okay.
Let's go listen to it.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is sometimes you just put out stuff and you're, as I said, you're not proud of the outcome of and I was like, does this song resembles the things that I'm gonna put out in the future?
Yeah.
And I don't want it there. I don't want people to, even if it was a good song and it was about my love story, I was like, nah, no, I'm taking that away. You'll still find it somewhere on YouTube or a straight link from I don't know what country, but I was like, okay, I need to have a fresh start, so to say.
Yeah, I've toyed with that myself lately, taking down, because I've been at these shows for a really long time now, and I've toyed with taking down some of the older things. And and even on the place where I put some of my music, I toyed with taking all of those down at one time or another. But it also, so like, there's part of me that doesn't want those things there because I'm not happy with how they are. But then there's another part of me, like I said, when I found your videos from, that you were, when you were on the talent show, I was like, just to be able to witness that journey and be like, holy cow, like he's really come a long way. And that so I go back and forth. I'm like, should I take them down, or do I want to see I mean, I know the journey, so I could just take them down.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be fine. One of the things before we go that I always ask musicians that come on the show, okay, if you're going to put out an album of all duets, Robert, okay, give me your top 3 people that you would love to duet with. And we assume in asking this question that they would, of course, love to duet with you.
Oh, well. Yeah, well.
Moment. Okay, go.
So I think Christina Aguilera.
Oh,
Smith.
okay.
Adele and Celine.
Okay, I would come for that. I would buy the whole album.
It's so hard to say. But I think those 4 people has inspired me a lot lately,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's easy. I think.
I love it.
You
think maybe
I'm gonna do everything in my power to be able to do that.
yes.
No, we'll see. No, but of course it would be a really good dream.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. Okay, so the song drops on hold on, let me make sure, on the 29th, right?
On Friday next week.
Friday, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're very excited for that, and you have to just promise me that when you come to the States and you win your Grammy Award, that you come back on the show.
I
Yes?
promise.
Okay. Okay. What is next for you? Obviously the song's coming out, but share with us what do you have your sights on for the near or distant future?
Yeah, no, I think I'm still gonna work at Valmont for right now and a few more years, maybe. Who knows? But I really want to come to the States. I think that's my next do a Las Vegas show, or doing something that I was afraid of doing when I was younger,
Yeah.
So I think that's my next step, maybe.
That'll be awesome.
And then I'll meet Celine Dion or Sam Smith, and no.
Yeah. That duets album is gonna come out.
And we should do a duet.
Oh, now listen. You're pushing boundaries now.
I'm pushing you.
Oh, we'll have to see about that, boys and girls. I'm so thankful that we could finally sit and have this conversation today. And it just really moves me that to be able to sit and talk to someone who loves music as much as I do, and if not more. And you really, truly, I mean it, have such an incredible talent. And you guys, if you missed the story that I put up on Instagram yesterday, the caliber of musicians and singers that we've had on the Breakthrough Show Network has just been incredible. And Robert, you fit right in there with everybody. It's incredible what you're doing, and can't wait for the song on Friday. Yay. It's gonna be good. Also, really quickly, we're not going to do our birthday song today, but I want to wish everybody that celebrated a birthday in the last week to enjoy your birthday time, and I hope you had an incredible birthday and ate lots of cake and had good times and all of that. Robert, thank you so much again for being here today. Don't forget to click the link in the description. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.